foot. Now, whether it was an ankle or a knee, I do not know. Here's Coach Collins out there and all his teammates running. And this, with the injury, we just talked about the 26 games he has missed with an assortment of injuries, and now holding a knee late in a game that is already decided for all intents and purposes.
And I'm sure everyone around the country is going to say, why was he in the game?
Lil Pump, D-Rose, ooh. 100 on my wrist. Lil Pump, 80 on my wrist. Woo. D-Rose, hey. D-Rose, hey, hey. Hey, 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist. What? 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist. 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist. Ooh. 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist. D-Rose, 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 80 on my wrist, 100 on my wrist, what? 80 on my wrist, 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist, what? 100 on my wrist, 80 on my wrist, 100 on my wrist, D-Rose, 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 100 on my wrist, bitch, I'm feeling like D-Rose, pop fours, and I'm feeling like a hero, Superman, lean got me like Rio, and my auntie on P.O. on my wrist, 80 on the brick. Lil Pump never spend his money on a bitch. Never trust a nigga cause he acting like a bitch. Take a nigga bitch to the Motel 6. I just brought my wrist cause I'm whipping in the kitchen. Pass the bread to my mom and I told her whip it. 4 bands in the kitchen. 9 bands in the kitchen. I just fuck your bitch. What? I just brought my wrist. Okay. I just fuck your bitch. Ooh. I just fuck your bitch. Okay. D-Rose, 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 80 on my wrist, 100 on my wrist, what? 80 on my wrist.
It is my distinct honor to present the 2010-2011 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player Award to Derrick Rose of the Chicago Bulls. Congratulations.